My name is Karl Lillrud, and I help organizations grow faster online. So the 10 super growth areas to focus on for any online business is basically connected to one thing, and that is a customer. Who is your customer and what is it that they are looking for? What support is it that they expect from you? What information is it that they want to find on their own? And what other different triggers is it that you can incorporate into the way that you communicate with your customer? Because you need to understand that online is a different area compared to offline or retail, or where you actually meet someone and can start a dialogue and build some sort of customer connection. Because online, people get distracted quite easily. So the attention span is really, really small compared to offline, where you can have quite a big attention span. So for you to be successful online, you need to understand who your customer is at first. Not who you attract to your store, but out of all these thousands of visitors to whatever type of online business it is that you're running, who out of those thousands of visitors actually become paying customers. But also think about your conversion goals, because converting a visitor to a paying customer is the end goal, but you can have many conversion goals that eventually lead to the final goal of building a successful customer relationship, where that customer relationship becomes a big part of the customer life cycle, and where you nourish that relationship over time. As a result of COVID, we have seen that basically everyone around the world have moved their transactions online. We have been isolated, and as a result of this isolation, we have had to buy things online in a totally different way than before. Maybe not different way, but to a larger extent than what we have done before. And this has changed the way we like to make transactions. We want to feel that we are in control. We consumers would like to get a better overview of all our transactions throughout the different stores that we buy in online. And the different subscription services that we use and everything. We want to have a full picture of how we spend our money. And we don't get that with a simple classic checkout. Enter your credit card details here, enter your shipping information here, and you get the package. That is a transaction that happens, everything is perfectly fine with it, but me as a consumer, I don't feel that if I make 10 or 20 of those transactions per day, I don't feel that I have a control of all the packages coming in and where my money is spent, and eventually if my credit card details is actually secure. So what happened with the payment industry online and how customers changed is that we can see a quite big change in customer behavior, where customers are starting to use e-wallets in a large extent to gather their payment information and then have the e-wallet communicate with the merchant to make the transactions in a much more secure way, because the e-wallet uses tokens rather than your actual contact information, your credit card details. So with a token, your payment information is always secure. And this have secured the payment for you as a customer, but also give you an overview of your spending. Consumers are transforming all the time, and even more as a result of COVID and the isolation that we have experienced. But we should not think of it as much as consumers transforming, but actually think of it more as personas or groups within groups. These personas is evolving because we can see that there is new people getting added to each group within the group. For example, your kids are growing up and they start spending their own money online. All of a sudden we see that there's a big demand for something that have not been demanded before. We can see that another generation is leaving the house and starting at university, and all of a sudden the parents' purchase behavior is changing. We as individuals evolve all the time. The world is circulating around us. And that is what it's about. We need to make sure that whatever we do is dynamic. And we should not think that we have found the golden grail of solutions. Because what works today might not be as efficient tomorrow. So you need to always stay ahead of the game and always do different tests in how you communicate with your customers, in how you build your customer attraction. By understanding personas, by understanding customer groups, it will be much easier for you as a company to communicate directly to your target customer. Not to the whole group, but the group that within the group expects one way of communication. The other groups within the group might like other type of images, other type of text, other type of communication platforms where you actually target these customers. So always think about who you're communicating with and what type of communication they expect from you, but also what different channels they are active in. What we see with AI is that AI is used to take shortcuts, to simplify life for us, to take away tasks that we don't need to attend to, which is great. We should use helping hands where they are suitable. And with voice, that is another layer of that. With voice, we don't need to type on our phone. With voice, we don't need to sit by our computer in the same extent. Let's take the example of writing a book. I could write a book using voice control, and then an AI can make sure that it's written in the best possible way. But AI and voice in connection with each other will also help us make wiser decisions in how we buy things online. The AI connected to your fridge can help you decide on what to eat for dinner and what to buy for delivery to your house tomorrow. And with voice control in your smart home, you can make sure that things are handled in a smoother way. Like, for example, you're standing by the stove and you know that the oven is just about to be done with the chicken that you have in there, and you just talk out loud and tell the oven to turn off the heat so that the chicken don't get dry. There's things like this that will help us, but also they're in this where we'll find other opportunities. With voice, we can simplify, but we can also optimize the way we live our lives. We don't need to sit by our computer or by our phone to make transactions. I just published my 6th book actually, and it's connected to a problem. It's connected to an issue that some people indicated to me, that the world of online is complicated. There's so many acronyms, there's so many terms, there's so many things in how we communicate that is not easy to get. So I published a book to solve this. But this is what it's all about for me, to help people get more out of what they're doing, to help people be more efficient. And this is what I focus on, helping companies grow faster, but also helping individuals to grow, which is what I do as a speaker, as a coach or mentor, and as an author. And that is what I love, to make sure that I empower you.